Hello everyone, today's Sunday, July 19, 2015. What a beautiful Sunday morning. Yesterday we had a episode of rain and the rain was quite a relief from the hot weather. It rains almost half of a day, so we got a lot of rain yesterday. Well, today I want to update you guys on the smart pots that I experiment with. A month ago I posted a video on two of the smart pots I purchased, but today I want to update you guys on this plant. So this one here, the tomatoes, this is one of the grapes tomato, the red grapes tomato that I germinated, and it was about several inches tall when I planted this a month ago. That's 4 weeks ago in June. So now it has grown quite a bit. I planted two of them, one of the tomato plant in the ground and one in this smart pot here that I purchased. The one in the ground didn't survive. It was so hot that the plant just completely destroyed. That was very unfortunate. The weather is so hot, 100 degrees, and just completely destroyed the plant. But the one in the smart pot, I was able to shelter it a little bit from the sun when I first transplanted into this smart pot. And so far it has grown about maybe 3 feet, a lot of branch. This one I allow it to grow out. Instead of single stem, I allow it to grow out a lot of branches. Now the magic number, according to some grower, it's 18 stem or 18 branches. So I don't know where they come up with that number, but that's what the magic number for a tomato plant to grow. So right now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then I allow some of them to branch out. According to some of the expert, you want to allow 3, one main stem, 3 comes up. After 3, you allow 6, each one of them. So that's 18. But of course it's kind of difficult to organize this because I don't have a big trellis, so I moved it here to my part of my section of my yard here, and originally this is for some cucumber, but the cucumber are gone, so now I put the tomatoes here. So hopefully I will be able to train the tomato up this kind of trellis up here. So okay, so I want to show you guys the other smart pot, and let me go there and show you guys. Okay, so we're back with this smart pot here, and this one here, if you recall, the one in the smart pot here, the plant is not from seed. The plant actually comes from one of my yellow pear tomato sucker. So it was a sucker that I pruned off from a yellow pear tomato plant, and I experimented with it. I put the sucker in the water. Once it produced roots, developed root system, I planted in this smart pot. So it seems like it's doing pretty well. Again, I allow several branches to branch out. I probably will not have more than 18 branches. I don't want so much plants, so much branches everywhere. After the rain, you can tell, after the rain, the plant just really turn green. It's just amazing how rainwater is so benefit to plants and the soil. And at the same time, I also put this trellis here, because I know I will need a trellis for this one. This trellis here is 3 feet wide by 6 feet all the way on top. So that's 6 feet on top right here. They're higher than 6 feet. That should be enough for the plant to grow. And I know that it will pass the 6 feet, because this variety of tomato is indeterminate, so they can grow as long, as far, as wide as it want to, as long as the season permits it to grow. As long as the soil has good nutrients, it will continue to grow. And before I show you another one, the yellow pear sucker, also I planted that one in the ground. So, but before I show you that one, I want to show you one more example of how tomato can grow out of control. So here's a quick example of a tomato plant that I try to manage and control by growing single stem. But obviously nature will win eventually, no matter how hard you try. The trellis all the way on top, that's almost 7 feet tall, the wooden structure here. This is the one I'm talking about. And like I said, I like to grow my single stem, but eventually, if you single stem them or if you allow them to branch out, it doesn't really matter. The tomato will overtake the entire trellis. Unless you prune them so rigorously, even when you prune them, they're still going to grow. So have a look at this. It wants to grow over to the backyard fence. It branch out and it produce tons of fruit. This is one of my favorite variety. Like I said, I don't know the name of the variety of red tomato, but this tomato came from my backyard originally, from the other side of this fence right here, on the other side. And the seeds were the same seeds that I grow every year for the last, I don't know, 3 years since I've been here. But look at these tomatoes. They are just gorgeous. They have some fungus on the bottom, okay? Now I prune them off. That's why you see all this no leaves in here, but on top here there's plenty of new growth. And as long as they continue to grow, I just allow them to grow. So this one I just allow them to grow. I just finally gave in because I cannot even prune them fast enough. And look at all the fruit. Isn't it beautiful? And look at the fruit. Look at this. Let's come out here and just pick them whenever I feel like picking. Okay, so that's just about tomatoes. They can grow very, very large. I think I see it somewhere where they took over the entire patio, like 40, 50 feet. I mean, in terms of growth. As long as the soil is good, have a lot of nutrients, they will grow. So let me show you the other yellow pear tomato, the sucker that I put in the ground. Okay, so here is the second yellow pear tomato. This is also propagated from the sucker, and they grow about the same rate as the smart pot. Now I'm not doing comparison, so don't get me wrong. I'm not comparing in the sense of which is better. Okay, I'm not doing that. I'm just experimenting. I'm just experimenting with the different type of plant. Where can I grow them, in a container or on the ground? But here again, so they grow about the same as the other one in the smart pots. This one I also erected a trellis as well, 3 feet by 6 feet up, all the way up. Again, I allow them to somewhat branch out to several branches. So it look like this plant's doing okay. So you definitely can propagate tomatoes from a sucker. Of course, you want to pick a sucker that is really robust, real strong. And that's how you can get a better plant. And put them in good purified water. And once they develop roots, then you can plant them in the ground and keep them moist, and they will grow. So they definitely will be developed into a new plant without trying to germinate from the seeds. And here we go again. So this is the yellow pear tomatoes. Sometimes they don't look like pear; they look like kind of yellow tomatoes. So I'm wondering if they mislabeled this. But it doesn't matter. I mean, it's a beautiful yellow tomatoes. Again, this one grow very nicely, single stem. But again, once it gets to the top part here, over 6 feet here, what you gonna do? I mean, what can I do? I mean, I have to have even taller trellis to control them. Otherwise, I have to allow them to branch out and to take over this entire trellis. Okay, so that's my latest update for the smart pots, the red grape tomatoes, and yellow pear tomatoes in the smart pot and growing on the ground. And if you have any comments, please post a comment for me. And if you like my videos, please subscribe to our channel. And thank you for watching. And happy gardening.